We are dealing with an invasive collective, with a group, multiple groups, that only survive, thrive, flourish through infiltration, through deceitful tactics, deceitful means, and through the enslavement and subjugation of other beings. Infiltration is the only thing that makes this possible. Infiltration has been the tactic that has been used for millennia, for centuries. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like you gotta and I know a lot of you out there, you're awake, you get it, but you gotta wake up. Like those that don't get it, you gotta wake up. Like this isn't a human mindset that you're dealing with. It never was. It is a collective. It's predatory. It closes in on a thing. Like you got to look at the type of behavior that's associated with these individuals. That's not human behavior. It's never been human behavior. Like never, ever in the history of ever. It's never been human behavior. It's something else altogether. Predatory, actually. That's how they operate. And we're at a point now where people have gotten they've gotten squashed in almost oblivion, almost nothing. And we're dealing with the fallout of that. This is nothing but Atlantis revisited. I have said this a million times. I'll say this a million times more. Do yourself a favor and read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Even if you chalk everything up in that, I'm not going to say document, in that text is being utter horseshit, if it doesn't merge with your own sensibilities, with your own beliefs, if you only take away one thing from that collective, that story, those stories, that information, it's what Thoth says about the invaders from beyond. It's what Thoth says about those that came from the depths, those that had the head of the serpent, those that took the likeness of men, and those that crept into the councils, into the world of the human, until it got to the point it was so bad nobody knew who was who anymore. That is why Atlantis fell. Make no mistake. Like people will tell you, Atlantis was real, it was a thing, and people will tell you, oh, they got into energy weapons, and there was some massive, and there may have been, but I'm going to tell you, the catalyst for the fall of Atlantis, for the destruction of that civilization, was the systematic infiltration of those other beings that took the likeness of humans. And they creep in and they slowly, this is how they operate, because they cannot operate any way else. In any other way, they get shut down. In any other situation, they get shut down. That's just how it is. They don't have the means, as invasive as they are, or as mighty as I think they are, they don't have the means to just take over outright. They never have. Because every time they've tried, they've gotten their asses handed to them. The only way they can operate like they operate is through the slow infiltration of a civilization, and there are more than one. There are lots of them. This isn't the only one that they've done this to. There are quite a few. They sneak in and they slowly start to change things from the inside out, until you don't know who's who, until you don't know what's what. I've said this before. In Atlantis, in the Emerald Tablets, Thoth talks about you had to use frequency to find out who they were. Well, he refers to it as magic, but it's frequency. Oh, we got a one-hit lighter. The one-hit light. What's up, big bag? And so it's about frequency, you know. And like, they had a word. They had a word that they used back in the day, where I've heard different variations of it. Like in some versions, like you could say the word and they wouldn't, like they would immediately, like around you, they would start to glitch out, right? Or it was a word that they were forced to say, and if they couldn't say it because supposedly their tongues could not pronounce it, then you know they were done for, you know. And again, our greatest weapon, your greatest weapon, it'll never be anything physical. It'll always be knowledge. It'll always be the knowledge, the gnosis of what's real and what's true. Because the tactics and the things that they do, the means, the all the systems that they use, it can only work when you're unaware. Those systems, as faulty and as corroded as they may be right now, still, they can only work when you're unaware, for the most part. Once you know to an extent, once you know to a certain degree, there's only so much they can do. Then they're just like annoying cowards, because they're used to you being enveloped in this cloud of ignorance where you don't know jack shit, and they're able to just do what they do. But when you when you take back your autonomy, when you take back, you know, the perception, the perceptual nature that was your birthright, because we're supposed to see and perceive so much more than we do. We've been stunted. We've been perceptually castrated. I think I'm going to use that for the title. Perceptually castrated. You know? And you can get that back. You can, as so many are getting it back, and it makes me really happy, and it does me like, I'll watch video, you know, and some people just don't get it, and they're not going to get it. Even those that kind of have an idea that like something's going on, they're not willing to delve into the possibility or the reality that of what it truly is. You know, they still want it to be the FBI and the CIA, and that's fine. That's great. That's cool, man. If that's the world you want to live in, if that's what you think that's cool. They still want to think it's a monolithic thing, but it's still very, you know, tangibly monolithic, I guess. But it's so much deeper than that. I don't think I've ever seen that many black cats all together before. Tangibly monolithic, you know, and that's fine. And I've said it before. I think the people that are going to get it, they've kind of already started to get it, and they kind of already get it. And you know, those that don't, we can only hope that it sinks in eventually. So anyway, just figured that's me running my mouth for, what is it, Monday? This is my Monday evening rant. So we'll talk to you guys when I talk to you. Bye.